Oh, wait, we've got an insider today. We've got Kelly. Kelly, what is the tea? Kelly, can I drop a mic? Do you have time? Because I know sometimes y'all listen to me at work or while you're doing other things. If you've got time, Kelly, I'm going to drop a link in the chat box for you to call in with your tea about your friend who was in the flight, or sorry, on the flight with Porsha. This is a story that we covered on yesterday's episode of the show, you guys. Porsha, when she got off the plane from Vegas to Atlanta, we saw her being accompanied by some FBI agents. Her lawyers came out with some claims, claiming that somebody on the plane verbally assaulted her, and it was just this big mess, and Porsha is a victim in all this. So now Kelly here, our co-reporter, says that she has a friend who was on that flight with her. So let's see what kind of news she's got over there. Okay, so Kelly is here, ready to drop the tea, you guys. And Kelly, absolutely perfect. Your camera is off, so I will bring you up so you can share what your friend had to say. Hey, Kelly.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
Yeah. Perfect. We're so excited. Like, what's the scoop? What did your friend tell you about the flight?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, this is one of my friends. She's one of my only Bravo friends. And she called me, I think it was yesterday, and she had been in Vegas vacationing with her family. She didn't even know that BravoCon was going on. But when she landed, she saw all of the signs for BravoCon and thought, oh, maybe I'll run into one of the housewives like in the wild or something. And so she got through her whole weekend. On Sunday, she got on that Delta flight and she started hearing a commotion. And she was sitting in the front rows of economy. So she was just behind the curtain with where first class is. And so she heard this commotion and she said she only heard this one passenger like screaming, and she saw her pointing and saying something about, she hit me. She did all these things, and she didn't even know this was Porsha that this lady was talking to.
Yeah.
And someone else in the cabin said, I think that's Porsha Williams. And so they kind of peeked and looked, and Porsha was sitting there not saying a word. So she didn't hear Porsha say anything. She didn't hear her do anything. And when the plane landed, she said they taught all the passengers to stay seated, and they escorted Porsha and this lady off the plane. And so Porsha was standing there as the rest of the passengers were deplaning, and my friend walked by her and she waved at her and said, "Hey, Porsha," and Porsha just like smiled and waved back at her and said she was really sweet. But she didn't see Porsha do or say anything wrong. So anyway, that was my boots on the ground for the day.
I love that, Kelly. Thank you so much. That's crazy. So Porsha was remaining really calm. Did your friends get to see the other lady? Like, did she have that look in her eye, like she might be a little bit off or something like that? Was she, I don't know, erratic or anything?
No. In fact, she said Porsha she didn't even hear her say anything. She didn't respond to this passenger. She did say Porsha looked beautiful in her fur coat, and she just people were saying hello to her as they were walking off the plane. So she didn't give that she was engaging at all with this woman. And I will tell you, my friend, the word she used was, she said she was just seemed like a Karen who was looking for attention. So I thought that was interesting. So I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you so much, Kelly. You're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, Grace. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks. Bye. Wow, you guys, some boots on the ground reporting. You love to see it. Thanks so much, Kelly. Wow, what are the odds? So listen, based on Kelly's story, it sounds like Porsha may have been the victim in that particular situation. And that would explain why she seemed so chill getting off of the airplane, being accompanied by the FBI agents. It doesn't, from what Kelly's saying, it doesn't really sound like Porsha was actually involved in any kind of physical altercation. Like, I didn't hear anything about a scuffle or anything like that. It seemed like Porsha looked perfectly fine. Like, when you're fighting, your hair might go everywhere, your makeup might get messed up and whatnot, but Porsha looked perfectly fine. So maybe this is something that was made up. Kelly says that the other woman seemed like a Karen who was just looking to make some trouble. I don't know, but so far it is looking like Porsha might come out of this entire situation without any charges against her. Maybe there will be some charges against the other woman, or maybe the FBI is just going to throw their hands up about this particular situation. Wow, I was not expecting that on this Wednesday. Consider this my lucky day. Thanks again, Kelly.